What's up, y'all? It's the Governor John McLaughlin with the Abakas Team Aj, and coming to do my DMR report for 1/16 2020. Again, for those that don't know, the Abakas is a group out here teaching black people how to create generational wealth through the markets, investing and trading. The DMR is a daily analysis of the markets that members are learning how to do, that identifies opportunities every day to make some money. So this is my DMR I put together for January 16th. If you've been listening to my videos, you know I have been doing a little bit of a different strategy, focusing more on plays that have swing potential. Even though I will take profits the day of, I will day trade if the profits are there, but I'm looking to set myself up more for trades that have swing potential. However, today I kind of abandoned that for the day. I didn't really see anything I felt really strongly about. So I turned my attention to basically all short plays. All four of the contracts I picked today expire tomorrow. And the idea was to, get in at the right moment, find a good entry point, get your profits, and get out. All four plays hit, and they actually, gave you multiple opportunities to make profits, if you played them correctly. So I'm gonna just go through real quickly and explain what I mean by that. I'll start with this Apple play. If you see, it opened up at 158 and did a quick shoot up to about looks like 215 or so. So right there, you could have made about a 35% or something like that return just playing the open. That's the first 5 minutes or so of action that you see there. You see that it kind of stalled out and then dropped off there. Now, if you bought it at the open and then you held it through that initial sell-off, it did go up to a high of 235, and you could have got a 49 or 50% win right there. If you waited, because I did, on my DMR, the actual DMR I wrote, I did indicate, watch for early sell-offs, look for your entry point after early sell-offs. So if you didn't buy right at the open, even if you waited for that initial sell-off that you see, that little drop there around right before what says 9 o'clock, that really means 10 o'clock because this is on Central Time, these charts. But if you waited for that sell-off that happened right before the 10 o'clock hour there, you still could have got in under $2. You would have got in, looks like around 190 or 185, and you still could have caught that ride up to the high of 235. So in that case, you would have been making probably 20 to 25%. Things kind of dropped off after that, and that happened with all of my plays really, as well as the market in general. There was kind of a fairly strong open. Things kind of dropped throughout the rest of the morning, and then kind of around noontime, and then into the afternoon session, after the USMCA was signed, things kind of picked back up in that afternoon session. So after it hit that high of 235, you see it drops off. But if you notice there in that afternoon session, where it says 12 o'clock, but it's really 1 o'clock, it hit a low of 80 cents. And then the rest of that afternoon, it rode itself up to 172. So in that afternoon session, you actually had a potential to make up to 100%, or a little more than 100% actually. So this one gave you at least 3 good opportunities to take some profits. And you'll see that with all of my plays, pretty much gave you at least 2 opportunities to get in and make some quick money. My second play was Amazon. They were looking strong, or pretty strong in the pre-market. I didn't really feel that confident about them having a sustained run all day, even when I wrote this. But I did feel like they would give you an opportunity to get in there and make some quick money. That's exactly what happened at the open. Again, first, if you were playing this one, you either had to play, the first 5 minutes of action, or basically the last hour of action. So in that first 5 minutes, you see it opened at 395 and shot up very quickly to a high of 618. So that's about, about 50% that you could have got right there on the opening 5 minutes of the market. As you see, this one kind of dropped throughout the day for the most part, up until that last hour of market time, which we call the power hour. So right around where it says 2 o'clock, again, that's 3 o'clock on the East Coast, it hit a low of 112 and then rode up to close at 170. So that is, 58 cents. That's, over 50% you could have made in that last power hour if you were paying attention that late in the day. So 2 opportunities on that Amazon play to make some money. Third, I had Morgan Stanley. They had an earnings report this morning that was really strong, a record year for them. They were really popping off like crazy in the pre-market. So this one, actually, with all of my plays, when on my DMR, I recommended to kind of be patient, watch out for early sell-offs or early reversals of the market. But this one, you really could have played a couple different ways. It did hit right at the open. Again, those first, 3 to 5 minutes, you could have made some money. It opened at 122 and then shot up very quickly to looks like about, I'll say 175 or so. So you could have made a good 30-40% probably right there in those first 5 minutes of action. Then as you see, right here. As you can see, it has a steep drop off there around, I'll say 9:45. And that was that sell-off that I was warning for, particularly with this one, because the volume in the pre-market was so high. The institutional investors were definitely going to come in here and take their profits early. So there's a steep sell-off there before it hit its low. And if you saw my other post, you see I had a team member that I'm helping learn options. So I've been giving her my DMR just to practice with, so she can paper trade with it. And I told her watch for the early sell-off, and she actually got slick with it and went ahead and played that put on that drop-off and ended up making 84% on it. So that was an opportunity in and of itself. Once it hit that low of 87 cents, it rode up very nicely the rest of the day. So it went from that low of 87 cents to a high of 237. So that's over 200% or almost 200% that you could have made if you had waited for that sell-off and that dip and then rode it up the rest of the day. So again, 2 opportunities at least on the call side that you could have had there. And then if you were quick enough and aware enough of that drop-off, you could have even made some money on that put side on the drop-off. And then lastly, I had NVIDIA. Again, they gave you a couple different opportunities to make some money today, actually. From the open, they opened at 114, and in that first 10-15 minutes, they shot up to a high of the day of 150. So that would have given you, 36 cents. So that's about, 30% or so from the open to the high. And then you see a pretty steep drop off right before that 9 o'clock hour on this chart. Went below $1. If you waited for that sell-off there, you could have got in, looks like about 90 cents, 95 cents maybe, and then it went right back up over the next 15-20 minutes to 125, 130, something like that maybe there. So again, that was another 30% opportunity right there. Then, like all the other stocks for the most part, it kind of fell throughout the rest of the morning. But you see it hit that low right around what says 12 o'clock, so 1 o'clock East time. It hit that low of 46 cents. And then it actually rolled up the rest of the day and ended up closing at 87 cents. So in that afternoon session there, that's a close to 100%. That's probably an 85 or 90% return from that low to the close. So all of these plays had multiple opportunities to make some money. And again, mastering entry points and exit points is really a key to trading. So knowing the right time to get in and knowing the right time to get out, you're never going to be perfect per se. It's not that likely that you always get in at the exact bottom or the exact top, but just being able to kind of see trends, also anticipating what's happening. So being able to anticipate that things are going to have those early drop-offs when they have that high institutional volume early in the morning, things of that nature, is definitely a big part of being a good trader. So with that said, I'm going to keep it at that. That's my DMR report for January 16th. If you want to learn more about the Abakas, learn more about the markets, get started on your journey to creating generational wealth, as always, please feel free to reach out, hit me up, and I hope y'all had a good one. Bless up.